welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Beautiful day outside. We are going to do a blind Sauvignon Blanc tasting. Sauvignon Blanc is starting to catch on fire at the store. Not just New Zealand Sauv Blanc, but also domestic Sauv Blanc. So I'm really kind of excited about that because I love Sauv Blanc. But Sauvignon Blanc is interesting because it has a very wide range of likes and dislikes. A lot of people love the New Zealand Sauvignon Blancs that show a lot of grapefruit. That I don't like, but I understand why people like it. My girlfriend Susie does not like anything with grapefruit in it. She hates it. She likes she feels that makes it a little sweeter and not as dry. Sauvignon Blanc can go to quite sweet to bone dry. You go to Sancerre. Sancerre is Sauvignon Blanc from Sancerre in the Loire Valley. So you get, there's a huge range of likes and dislikes with Sauvignon Blanc. Personally, I like a Sauvignon Blanc that is drier, has good acidity, balance of fruit and acid. I do not like a flabby Sauvignon Blanc. And I know there's a lot of people out there that probably like them that way, but I don't think that's the way they should be. I think they should have some vibrancy to them. They should have good acid and enough fruit to keep most palates happy. That's where I stand on it. So my judgment of Sauvignon Blanc is based on that. I do like Sauvignon Blanc with grapefruit in it. I prefer New Zealand Sauv Blancs that show more gooseberry, lime, lemon and lime than I do the grapefruit side. But that's just a personal thing. You have your own palate. That's really what matters. But let's get through this. I'm very interested. What I have here is 2 California Sauvignon Blancs and 2 Washington State Sauvignon Blancs. So I'm kind of excited to see how they fare. In fact, oh, there it is right there. Did you write my pen? To write my grade on the back of the bag as I go through this. So let's go through number 1. A little rinse. In fact, you can make a comment on what you like. What quality of Sauvignon Blanc do you like? I know a lot of people like Sancerre. The only problem with Sancerres from the Loire Valley is they tend to be kind of spendy. They can range anywhere from $19 to $50. Whereas you can get a lot of Sauvignon Blanc domestically, California, Washington. Most of these are around $12, $13, and I believe one is $15. But they're in that same price range. So those, and of course, New Zealand, you can get quite a few around the $15 range that are very good. So that's why a lot of people, even though in fact, a lot of people have not even tried Sancerre because of the price point. Maybe they just don't want to go there. Let's see what we get on the nose. So this immediately has a little bit of grapefruit, not a whole lot. I think there's an interesting bubblegum characteristic coming through. You get a little bit of a dusty rock thing, which I like. There's slight lemon and lime notes joining up with the grapefruit pith. Let's see what we get on the palate. This is a zesty little Sauv Blanc. I like that. That's why I like to drink Sauv Blanc. A nice beautiful day like today. You're outside having clams, oysters, whatever you're doing. It's nice to have a good glass of Sauvignon Blanc. This has a little minerality, dusty rock coming through. Very zesty. The grapefruit is not quite as strong. Good acidity, but it's balanced with fruit. I get like a green apple thing coming through. Green apple with a little bit of splash of lime, a little bit of lemon, and that dusty rock thing on the very back side. Very interesting Sauv Blanc. Be curious to see which one this one is. Lots of green apple on that one. Nice and dry. The finish is a little bit thinner than I would have hoped, but still really nice, clean, somewhat simple but good Sauvignon Blanc. see. I'm even noticing a little bit of white pepper, which I'm kind of curious about that. I like that. I love Sauvignon Blanc that has some layers to it. This has some, not as much as some others. So let's go on to number 2. I want to thank Susie, number 2, for taking a few moments to bag these up for me. Rinse. The first one, I like that first one, actually. Curious to see what that one is. That first one is, like, to me, a crowd pleaser. And that's the thing with Sauvignon Blanc. You try to find that in the middle of the road. Doesn't get too bone dry, has some fruit, good acidity, but not over the top acidity. That's what I'd call a crowd pleaser. Let's see, get on number 2, what we get on the nose. So this has a little funk on the nose, a little bit of stink action, which could come from the grapefruit pith side, you know, where the grapefruit pith, you get that little kind of stinky aroma through that. There is a grapefruit pith, you know, that part on the skin. A little bit of burnt match coming through, which of course winemakers don't like burnt match. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Burnt match, a little grapefruit pith, a little bit of stink action going on. Let's see what we get on the palate. You get that, almost like that stink action coming through on the palate, which is kind of interesting. Grapefruit pith. I almost get like a interesting floral component that comes through right on the back of the mid palate into the finish. Has almost like a polished stainless steel thing on the tongue, right on the back. So this is like grapefruit pith, white flowers, ball bearings, kind of. Good balance. So I mean, it's not your typical Sauvignon Blanc, which kind of, you know, it piques my interest. Yeah, nice flow across the palate. Long finish, I get that grapefruit pith. And it's more the pith than the actual grapefruit side of it. This is an interesting Sauvignon Blanc. Not what I expected. But it has a lot of good endearing qualities to it. So I think I'll be interested to see which that one was. Yeah. Wow. Number 3. I'm just curious if you want to make a comment if you like the blind format. I know sometimes they can go a little bit longer. I'm trying to keep my pace going on this. I want to give them a fair evaluation, but at the same time not waste too much time talking. That second one, that would be more, the types of food that could go with would be, you know, more like it could actually go with fowl, maybe some ham. It has a richer mid-palate is what I'm trying to say. Let's see what we get on number 3. What do we get on the nose? Now this has that definite kind of, oh, this has an interesting nose. First I got like kind of gooseberry grapefruit thing. You get a lot of wet, almost like a carnation thing coming through. A little bit of like an orange peel note. I like that. A little soap action as well. Let's see what we get on the palate. Solid lime notes. I mean, it's like I kind of bit into a sweeter lime. just like a zestiness that comes through. It's real active on the palate. It kind of dances around a little bit, but it's not. There's not a lot of stuff going on. There's more going on the nose and on the palate. Loads of citrus, kind of lemon, lime. There's a flavor coming through that is just not hitting me, not ringing a bell for some reason. A little bit of minerality, maybe a little touch of a grass notes coming through. This needs shellfish. I mean, this one smacks of it. You better have shell with this because it's very high-toned, very bright on the palate. But I like it. I like that high citrus notes that come through. With that, there's a little bit of floral component coming through in this one as well, but this definitely has a beam, almost like cuts your tongue a little bit, which a lot of people that drink Sauvignon Blanc like that aspect of it. Very sharp and focused on the palate, very laser-like. Very clean. Yeah, that's a tough one. Okay. Number 4. It's kind of fun. I haven't run into a really bad one yet. Number 2 is kind of odd, but nothing wrong with it. There you go. I mean, odd in a good way, you know what I mean? Sometimes something can be a little bit funky, but it's good. That's what I got on number 2. Number 3 is just solid. That classic palate, laser sharp. Number 4. Now, talk about running the gamut. This one's got diesel on the nose, like you just filled up your diesel truck and the entrails of aromas coming through. Diesel, a little bit of apple, a little bit of melon. Not super aromatic, certainly the least aromatic of all of them. Once again, I'll just reiterate, I try to drink these and judge them the way I think most of the consumers do. In other words, I opened them about 15-20 minutes ago. They're not super ice cold. I let them warm up a little bit, but they're still cold because that's the way most of you drink your Sauvignon Blancs. Let's see what we get on the palate. The diesel comes through on the palate, but not in a obnoxious sort of way, just kind of subtly there. You get a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of apple, a little bit of melon. Sort of a, wow, this one's tough. This one's tough because this is like another crowd pleaser, like number 1 and number 4 crowd pleasers. This is just like sits in that nice area where there's not too much of anything. You know, it kind of has a nice balance of all of them. This one has more depth and certainly a longer finish. You get like a lemon honeydew melon cassava thing going on the backside. Interesting. Almost like a little beeswax component coming through. A lot of people like that one. They're all pretty close, let me tell you. So we're going to look at them right now based on what I saw in them. Okay, that goes before that one. This one. This one came in first place. And then, so there's the order they come in. Okay, so in fourth place, I won't say last place because it's kind of derogatory, but let's just say in last place, fourth place, with a C+, B-, which is not a bad score. I said this one would be a real crowd pleaser. It is the Imagery Sauvignon Blanc from California, 2017, and it rolls in at, let's see, this was the one that rolled in at around $15. I'm going off of memory here a little bit. There you go. I think a lot of people would like that one. It wasn't my favorite, but it was good. It was good enough. At a straight up B, B-, B. Number 4, the last one I tasted, I thought it also would be a crowd pleaser. It had some interesting components to it, less aromatic than the rest. Is the Columbia Winery 2015 Sauvignon Blanc. It says Stratus on it, and this rolls in at $13. This is the one that had the diesel on it, which I found very interesting. In second place, with a straight up B, the Columbia Crest H3 Sauvignon Blanc, Horse Seven Hills 2015, and I thought this one had a lot of zest to it. You know, it had that really nice cutting feeling on it. And this rolls in at $13 as well. Okay. There you go. So, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that we have a California Sauvignon Blanc that comes in first place with a straight up, I think I gave it a B+. Okay. This is the Edna Valley Sauvignon Blanc 2016. A lot of you are familiar with Edna Valley wines. This rolls in at $13 as well. We saw a lot of Edna Valley Chardonnay. I thought this one was pretty good. It had a lot of interesting characteristics to it. It showed a lot of personality, and I liked it. There you go. California beats out. Well, the two came in the middle of Washington. So, bookend California, middle Washington State. There you go. Hey, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch this. I really appreciate it. Getting a lot of more subscribers, I appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit that little bell that tells you whenever I put out a video. Hook up with me on Twitter at @StanTheWineMan or on Instagram, StanTheWineMan. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.